Hi, oh hi guys, welcome to another round of Whiskey's Righteous Readings, where the readings are raw and righteous. Thank you so much for joining me. We are doing the main monthly for none other sign other than Aquarius. So Aquarius, this will be your main monthly. So we will be doing the main monthly spread that I have designed and tested. We will then clarify that if need be. We will then find out what spirit animal will be yours and full meanings for the month of May, as well as the ruin that has been gifted for you for sound advice and guidance. So I hope you really do enjoy this reading today, guys, and I hope it resonates. Don't forget to definitely subscribe if you've not done so. Redski's Righteous Readings, where the readings are raw and righteous. So without further ado, here we go. So as I said previously, with the main monthly, this is not predominantly love generation messages. If you want a love reading, look for the month's connection spread. That is where you'll get your love messages. This focuses on all other aspects of life, such as work, career, family, friendships and connections, and your inspirations and aspirations, things you want to bring in, as well as your health and advice throughout the month of May. Okay guys, so I really hope you like it now. The spread has been tried, it has been tested, and it is in full swing as of this month. So let's hit it. Aquarius, rising moon and suns of Aquarius. This is your May 2021 main monthly reading for all of my beautiful Aquariuses. Here we go. Okay, Aquarius, rising moon and suns for the main monthly of May. Okay, Aquarius. So your first placement is about work. That's what you do currently for Christ, what you're doing currently in work. We had the Page of Cups inverted come through. So this is saying that you're having a lot of deviation from the course or from the way you want things to be. There's a lot of susceptibility to other people's needs perhaps, and you're being temporarily very distracted from the workplace due to outside influences and or another person around you sort of bombarding you with either passionate wordings and or just daily life, or just putting their workload on you and expecting you to sort of, whether that's through just speech, like boasting about their issues, or is eating up your time, I feel, which is leading you to really having some issues here with being distracted and deviation and inclination and susceptibility here in the current position for work. So be careful during May, anyone that's sort of eating up your time or just leading you astray kind of a feeling. Now, the next card is career. This is future extension of work. The Chariot inverted, sign of Cancer here, but it's also a sign, again, that there is failure to lose at the last minute something that was otherwise very firm in your grasp. There's been a sudden collapse of plans here. It's all fallen to shreds. And you feel very overwhelmed by this. You have a real failure as well to actually face the reality of how broken this is, or how effed it is, how absolutely irreplaceable or irreversible, I guess, this process is at this point. It is what it is. It needs to be accepted, and you need to make that choice, therefore, what to do with that information. The third position is family, so your connections with family through May. Aquarius, we have the sign of Virgo come through now. It is the Hermit. So when it comes to family, you may be starting to take a step back. You're not listening to anyone else when it comes to family, their advice, their opinions, their recommendations, or even really them at all. You're pulling back, and you're resorting to your own counsel, your own knowledge, and your own solitude. So when it comes to family, you're really going to go in a state of solitude here. Real prudence, discretion. You're going to go within oneself and have vigilance, and maybe even deny yourself some things here. You're going to full withdrawal. It's like a regression, but it's not. It's not from self. It's completely so you can be with self. It's an annulment, and you're going to be going in deep, withholding emotion from all of this self-discovery, to really dig deep of oneself, to get that knowledge, to get that counsel, to get the understanding here, and then follow your own light, not being distracted by anyone else. You've got the core of it all within you, because you've gone over it. So the next card is in regards to friends and or connections here, friendships and connections. for the month of May, and we have the Queen of Pentacles come out. So this is great. This is talking about prosperity and well-being here. There will be abundance within these connections and an opulence with extreme comfort and a lot of generosity back and forth, you know, equal give and takes here. A lot of security that's going to come with that, and you're going to really have a real feeling of gracefulness having these connections and real dignity towards these connections, because these people are going to help you feel more generous and charitable as well. And they're very noble people. They're really noble souls. They're good people here, I'm seeing, in the friends and or connections. So this is good. This is very solid, Aquarius, up to this point. The next segment of cards, because we had a few and I took them all because it has a little story I can see. This position speaks, Aquarius, of your inspirations or aspirations, things you know, want to do, bring in, not repeat, things of that nature, because it's a very important placement. And we had very important cards. The Death card come through, of course. That is sign of Scorpio, with the Five of Wands, you know, battling it out, opinions rife. Then at the Nine of Pentacles. So I hope you can see each individual card. If you can't, I will try to move them, because it does speak of a little bit of a story of a change because of struggles and leading to abundance. So let's speak about this. So inspirations, aspirations for May. You know, the death of old ways, a full transformation, changing things here, getting rid of the old to make way for the new, the ending of opinions, the end of that era. Coming out of illness also possibly could be ditching a whole bunch of friendships and or connections, including family, which is that Hermit card I'm seeing coming through. This needs to happen to transform, to clear away the clutter of the crap of the shit that's always been around. To alleviate all that, you can then go to find the change, to find the self, to change the self. Why? Simple. Five of Wands. Too many different opinions that aren't in agreement, in alignment, or in understanding. Whacking sticks against each other is full on. It's a real feeling of unsatisfied desires and or opinions. There's struggles, violent labours, and a shitload of obstacles here. There's a difference of opinions, a lot of obstacles here. Can't surmount, can't get your own way, can't get your opinion across. It's just unsatisfied. It's a struggle, it's violent strife, it's laborious, it's arduous, and it's just leaving you to a point where I just don't want to do this shit anymore. Then this leads to the Nine of Pentacles, which I love, 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 love this. Because this is accomplishment through discretion and disconcernment. Not worrying about everyone fucking else and their thoughts and opinions and crap, and then making that pentacle, making that security, making that gains. The Nine of Pentacles also reflects doing this on your own, like all the nines do. This isn't getting a hand out of someone else's back or by, you know, commuting with someone else. This is due to own of self, complete soul self. She stands alone there in her fulfillment, not with anyone else. This is a card of alone doing, on your own, of your own fruition and of your own foresight, you know. This is material well-being and just a love of the nature and of the situation, of the simplicity of it. The next placement, and then we move over to is your health through May, because health is an important one as well. Very, very big indeed. And this was a little concerning because we had the Strength card in reverse. This, of course, sign Leo. But when we're looking at the Strength reverse, especially in this position, it does speak of sickness here. A real sickness is going to come through, May, and really knock you off your feet. It's going to make you feel very weak, very impotent. Maybe make you feel very petty, like having to rely on others for help to manage, or to, if you have children, like to you know, whatever in daily life, to manage things, because you're not able to do things yourself. And it will lead to sort of like a lack of faith of people in general, perhaps, if they don't come to the calling, you know, or others abusing their power towards you because you're in a sick-like state, if you know what I mean. It's really succumbing to something, whether that's temptation or sickness, and feeling an indifference with those around you, with the situation that you're put in. So because this is reflection of health, I really do feel it is leaning towards being taken out of the game due to sickness or an work-related injury perhaps as well. There's a long pullback from being able to do your daily for a long period of time here, or a period of time here. Days, weeks, whether the month, it's a period of time. Whether it's due to operation, this could be something preordained even. It doesn't have to be something that's come out of the closet. So yeah, it's interesting. Then Aquarius, we go to your final placement, the last card and this is reflection of what advice Spirit has for the month of May. And we have the Ten of Pentacles inverted. So this is reminding you that there will be times that you have bad odds or possible loss. There'll be maybe like a hazard or some sort of robbery towards you where you'll make a loss in the monetary or means kind of gain. This could be maybe being taken out of work or feeling that there's a loss here due to gambling, maybe a robbery, dissipation, like it's some sort of a real hit here, a real loss in monetary during May due to someone else's doing, or you doing it yourself by not watching the Pentacle. Keep an eye on the Pentacle during the month of May, I think is the general consensus, because there will be there's something there for the month end that needs to be really watched carefully. The card at the bottom of the deck, the underlying energy for the reading, Aquarius, was the Five of Swords inverted. So this is saying to remember most of all that there will be an uncertain outlook moving out of May. There could be, as I said again, a chance of a loss or a defeat here, a chance of being pulled over due to weakness or possible misfortune falling you or someone close to you, which will lead you down this path of a loss. It's sort of something uncertain, but will give you something to think about almost. It's uncertain when, where, or how, but it's coming. Because it's all written through it, but it's just not specific as to who, what, when, and where. But before month's end, it's definitely going to be shake-up of sorts, which is weird. Different. Alright, let's go one step further here and look further. So let's clarify this because it's about more clarification for Aquarius, rising moon, and suns of that sign. Okay, so we're going to look at the Page of Cups inverted first. Let's clarify this energy, please. For work, we have the High Priestess. So we're really needing to use guidance here in the work currently. Don't be deviated. Don't move away from what needs to be done. We need to have sound judgment and wisdom here and see things that aren't seen. See not in the future, but what is unknown here and now to really understand how to best move forward. Or we may find ourselves excuse me, as I was saying before, the Chariot inverted, which is career, future extension, which we're going to clarify now. The Chariot inverted for the career, the future extension of work. Why is the Chariot inverted here? Clarifying. Okay, and we have none other than strength, needing strength and tenacity here when things are immobile or not moving forward, and having the courage to do what needs to be done when it is asked of you in career. Okay, now so we'll look at the Hermit, which of course was the advice for family, Queen of Solitude. Let's clarify it. The Hierophant in reverse. So, when we're looking, this is a sign of Taurus as well, I should also mention. When we look at the Hierophant in reverse, we're talking about foolish exercise of generosity, giving away so much to others that we go so sorely without ourselves. It's a real feeling of susceptibility here to other people's needs rather than our own, and feeling very vulnerable or frail or very, like this connection is very unorthodox. It's not really the way it should be. And with that Hermit, I'm seeing that family, there really will be a changing here to remain. Well, that's interesting. So I was just looking at friendships, you know how we have the Queen of Pentacles upright. To clarify her, we have the Queen of Pentacles inverted. Also with again with that Five of Wands coming through for friend connections. So as I was saying before, that Queen of Pentacles, you know, there is a good connections here. It seems strong, it seems balanced. Straight away, to clarify that before I even had talents of intention, it is telling me
that there will be false prosperity here. A lot of suspense and suspicion and responsibilities being neglected with distrustful people here. There will be failure here due to Five of Wands. You know, unsatisfied desires. There'll be just struggles here, a lot of labor towards it. There'll be obstacles and strife and just a lot of issues here. Really having to fight it out. Dogmatic energy, like what you see is not what you're getting here at all. Not with the Queen of Pentacle upright and the Queen of Pentacle inverted. To clarify, with the Five of Wands energy is real struggle and strife here. It's real struggle and strife. There's trouble in that connection. May is going to be hell in regards to that. Okay, let's just get one for the inspirations and aspirations, because I think it pretty much had a story on its own, you know, with the Death, Five of Wands, Nine of Pentacles. And you know what? I'm not going to touch that, because that really is giving you what you need there, to be honest. Strength reverse about health, though. That is definitely what we're looking at next. Okay. Strength reverse for health. Clarify the strength reverse energy for health. Okay, because of the Empress reversed. So strength reverse is talking about weakness, impotence, illness, taking you out of the game, realizing that people around you may not be as loyal, faithful, and reliable as you thought. Health, because the Empress reversed is the clarifier. So this is really talking about a real feeling here of a lack of action, a lack of interest, a lack of concentration, a lot of indecision, can't make up your mind, a real just consensus of delays here, and a lot of anxiety here, and things not coming in the right time, not fruiting in the right time. When the Empress is inverted, it really talks about time being out of whack, something fierce. Nothing is timing right, nothing's linking up, nothing is going in the forms like it should. Like if you think of the ocean, for example, there's tides. You know, at a certain time the tide's out, a certain time the tide is in. It's a certainty. Well, this is like saying that the freaking tides don't come in and out at them times anymore. It's just so out of balance that it actually makes everything wrong. And because that applies to sort of this strength reverse, I'm seeing that it's probably something to do with illness again. Again, I know I keep coming back to that, but still, it's there. So, or a real change due to, yeah. Advice from Spirit was that Ten of Pentacles reverse, bad odds, possible loss. We have the Four of Cups reverse with a Page of Wands. Alright. So like I said, that originally the Ten of Pentacles reversed was, you know, a loss here, maybe gambling, dissipation, pissing something away, the Pentacle, from someone else, but either taking it or it not being guarded, kind of a feeling. That's clarified. Four of Cups reversed. That's talking about you still have a hopeful outlook that you can make something out of this with what's left. You have a favourable expectations. You're going to bring in maybe some new alliances or a return of an old faithful friend. There'll be some sort of a reunion here with another individual. But then the Page of Wands reversed. Ugh. It talks about you'll be indecisive and reluctant, though, to couple up or to believe this person, due to maybe instability or due to gossip, you know, or maybe in the past, you know, they might have wished you bad tidings or said something, or they might have broken your heart. There might have been a, you know, was a lover, now a friend kind of thing. There was some sort of displeasure with this connection. And Spirit is warning that even though that may have been the past, you know, it could have potential here, or you need to make a decision here on where that lies. There's still a potential outcome to believe that person, or, you know, is that just a dead end? At the bottom of this deck, the underlying energy was the Eight of Pentacles. So working very hard through the month of May to make monetary needs, maybe taking on a new apprenticeship and or a new craftsmanship to do with work or monetary means, and you're really learning at this very fast. It's all about handiwork, personal effort, and putting more effort in to make monetary means and or gains. So I'm seeing here, in a nutshell, or once we smash it all together, there is big things that you need to be foresight with in work currently and have strength in the future. Family is really fucking disjointed. I'm going to tell you something fierce. With that Hermit and the Hierophant in reverse, freaking clarifying that shit, Family is in strife. You need to pull away from it to get some clarity here, because you're either being too generous towards them, or there's some sort of imbalance in that connection that's leaving one side very weakened by this connection kind of shit. Friends is another freaking thought it was good and then it turned to crap really fast, which is probably might be how you feel during May. Because the Queen of Pentacle upright and then clarified by the fucking Queen of Pentacle inverted is just some badass shit. Saying you think that this is an opulent, good connection that's strong and can last the test of time, but in reality it's on its ass. On its head, actually, because it's upside fucking down. Which is pretty much saying the exact opposite and obtuse way of that. This is not a good connection. This is not a favourable connection, and it's gonna lead to doom in the Five of Wands, which is strife, battles, obstacles, and whacking sticks at each other, basically verbally and probably maybe even physically. Health, again, as well as I said before. Inspirations and aspirations. Transformation here to make way for something, because there has been two disjointment. That Five of Wands and Nine of Pentacles, abundance, health. Could be an issue here too, and a vice versa spirit, something from the past coming back into the future, or a reconnection or a new connection, which could have promise. You are a bit concerned about this, maybe due to past experience or what you've heard through the grapevine kind of situation, gossip, news. But Page of Wands inverted, coulda, shoulda, woulda. All right. Okay, we now move on to additional messages for Aquarius for the month of May. We do the spirit animals first and then get the ruin and the messages. For Aquarius, rising moon and suns for May. What spirit animal is gifted to Aquarius for the month of May? Have a look. And we have the seagull. Now is the time for deep emotional healing. Interesting. The seagull, let's have a look. The seagull. The emotional sea that hovering just below the conscious is well of feelings that needs to be acknowledged and expressed. Expressing emotions doesn't mean indulging in them compulsively or creating drama around them. If there are tears, let them simply be tears and allow them to flow. Cry or laugh as much as you need to. Explore these feelings by sharing them with someone you trust, or write about them in a journal. Paying particular attention to the sensation in your body. These sensations are cues to the layers of your emotion. They are just below the surface of your awareness. By either talking or writing them down, you bring them into the awareness, find relief, and create an opportunity to release them. Don't let this be a theatrical exercise, one where you act or try to force yourself to feel something that you do not. Make sure that you include a good dose of humour for time to time, particularly if you're dealing with darkness or scarier emotions. It's not necessarily to cleanse the emotional and physical scars that remain from earlier experiences too frequently, but now is the time to do so should you find yourself starting to get lost in the whirlpool of traumatic memory. Change the scenery by psychologically moving or intentionally distracting yourself of the feelings associated with these memories, all in one setting. Instead, simply remove some of the pressure that lurks beneath the surface. Associations with this card is observant, swift, opportunistic, carefree, versatile, resourceful, intelligence, scavenging, communication, sociable, protective, messenger, emotional, respect, and fairness. So the seagull. That's actually very, very in tune with your reading, Aquarius. Last piece of the puzzle now for the month of May. Let's get it and find out what is it. Because I want to know what Aquarius they're doing for the month. Let's have a look. We have number 17, and it is forgiveness. Number 17, the ruin of forgiveness. So let's have a look. So the ruin of forgiveness, a life in transition. A life in transition draws upon forgiveness in order to make peace with the past. Receiving this ruin, you are asked to consider who is it that calls out to you for forgiveness. To whom do you call out? To all of you who feel the courage in your heart to forgive those who've betrayed you. This ruin brings a blessing. Forgiving someone who's hurt you and making amends. There are two faces of forgiveness. There is a third face as well. Consider whether receiving this ruin at this moment may be the invitation to extend forgiveness to yourself. Drawing the ruin of forgiveness is an opportunity to consider the situations in your life where you have been thoughtless, unkind, or mean-spirited. What can you do to make amends? Do you need to write a letter, sit face to face, or simply speak openly to that person? Ask for their forgiveness and give them your blessing. It has been said that to cling to resentment is to harbour a thief in your heart. For resentment robs you of your energy, your strength, your peace of mind, and ultimately your ability to heal. It is not a part of our nature to withhold forgiveness, and yet to those of you for whom forgiveness is impossible, this ruin brings a double blessing. One, for the courage it took to close the door on the past, and another for your willingness to go on and live your life. There is one more blessing in this ruin. It is for those who have the courage to brave the fearsome seas of anger and rage, and in time arrive upon forgiveness' safe shores. Take this moment, the ruin of forgiveness counsels to begin clearing out the old, and if you have already begun, be gentle with yourself. It takes time to release the past. Let it be said this way: as I cultivate my own nature, all else follows. This ruin would be incomplete without an image of forgiveness as the scales upon which our lives are balanced. Joy in forgiving and joy at the being forgiven hang level in the balances of love. So have love and show forgiveness, Aquarius, for the month of May.